Good day, everyone. Welcome to Galactic Geographic, brought to you by SSNN. I am Liam Farrell, your guide for today, and on this day we'll be looking at the fascinating ecosystem of Archimedes II, and all the flora and fauna that make up this little slice of heaven in the settled systems. I'll go over all the relative planetary data before we descend to the surface to give it a proper up-close and personal Galactic Geographic view. Join me on this scenic adventure, and let's hop into this. Now, friends, as I said, let's take a look at this planet from the safety and comfort of our ship in orbit. Archimedes II is a barely habitable world in the Archimedes system, located in the more sparsely populated galactic eastern region of the settled systems. While it has an average magnetosphere, the gravity on the planet is quite weak, being 46% of that of Earth. This will make it easier to navigate, but regular exercise must be undertaken while on the surface to prevent muscle atrophy. Interestingly enough, the rotation of the planet is roughly 25% faster than the rotational speed of Earth, making the days here last for only 18 hours. If you're looking for it, it's due almost directly to the galactic east of the Crick system, so hopefully you've brought enough helium-3 to avoid having to refuel in Crimson Fleet territory. Looking at the planet itself, Archimedes II is host to only a few resources, so commercial and private interest in the planet will be lesser than other, more bountiful celestial bodies. The planet offers only argon, uranium, and water. The abundance of uranium on the planet is likely what contributes to the water here being radioactive. In regards to biomes, there are 3 of them spread across the planet. A vast majority of the planet, 81% of it, is covered in oceans, even more than there were in the old days of Earth. In the remaining 19% of the planet that we can actually land on, roughly 10% of it is heavy volcanic activity, and the last 9% are the frozen plains found at either of the 2 poles. This means that Archimedes II is a planet that is very hostile to life, but somehow several species make it their home. I'll be breaking down the types of flora and fauna that can be found in each biome in just a minute. But before that, please take a moment for a word from our sponsor.
Hey there, spacefarers. Do you find yourself falling asleep in the long haul through the space lanes? Do you constantly feel worn out by the differences in local time on planets? Whether you're hauling cargo to New Atlantis or just going to visit Grandma in Aquila City, you need an energy drink that will keep you alert without the crash and with great flavor. Allow me to introduce you to Dubby Energy. Dubby offers a variety of flavors for all the discerning palates out there. From powders to shakers, from pre-made cans to t-shirts, there is plenty on offer from Dubby.gg. If you're cautious about trying something new in the energy drink arena, fear not, because for a limited time, use code DoodleFan at checkout to receive a massive 20% off your entire order. Order Dubby Energy today.
Welcome back, everyone. Now let's move on to the life forms that exist on the surface of Archimedes II. In terms of notable flora, there are a total of 3 different plant species spread across the 3 biomes of the planet. The crimson courtstalk is a native plant of the planet and earns its name from the crimson leaves it grows out of the top 3 branching stalks. Atop these light tan stalks sits rather large fruits with small protrusions coming out the top. These fruits, like many others, act as a transportation method for the seeds of this plant to be spread around in the volcanic environment this hardy plant grows in. The roots of the seeds within these pods are capable of sedating some of the smaller creatures of Archimedes II and can be used as a sedative substitute in crafting. The next plant found on the surface of Archimedes II is the king's head bugloss. This large, leafy plant comes in hues of blue, purple, and red, making them stand out amongst the gray and black stones. In the midst of these massive leaves sits a single stalk with a seed pod atop it. Oddly enough, these seed pods look nearly identical to the fruits of the crimson courtstalk. Whether this is evidence of genetic tampering, simple cross-pollination, or simply coming down to similar evolutionary paths, this similarity is still an oddity amongst the cosmos. The leaves of this plant contain an oily substance that seals in the moisture of the plant, necessary in the volcanic environments where this plant thrives. These oils can be extracted for use as a sealant in crafting as well. The final notable form of flora on Archimedes II is the tufted snow willow. The only notable flora to appear in the frozen plains of the planet, the tufted snow willow is a tall bush, easily taller than a human male, with dark purple fibrous leaves. These distinct colorings help it stand out in its environment, making it easier for explorers to spot. Growing from the tops of these bushy bundles of the plant are large red seed pods. These pods are roughly the size of a human male head and can be harvested with relative ease. The leaves attached to these seed pods are rather fibrous and can be used as a fiber substitute while crafting. Regarding the fauna of Archimedes II, there's 4 different species of animals that make this hostile planet their home. Let's start with the aggressive pack Ankylosaurus. Unlike the Ankylosaurus of ancient old Earth, the creatures of Archimedes II lack the notable club tail, but they have a hardened, spiked chitinous shell that helps them survive their volcanic habitat. These creatures are definitive carnivores based on the mouth of jagged teeth and 2 sets of 3 forward-facing eyes. While they can whip their tails forward to attack, biting is their preferred method of attack. Standing roughly as tall as a human male, these quadrupedal reptiles are more than capable of catching any fleeing prey on the planet. Being as big as they are, and as fast as they are, the Ankylosaurus needs to have some sturdy bones to support its robust movements. As such, the bones of the beast can be harvested and used as a supplementary structural material while crafting. Another carnivorous denizen of Archimedes II is the apex exorunner. While notably smaller than their genetic relatives on Fermi 3, the apex exorunner is still a sizable quadrupedal predator. Not as numerous or powerful as the pack Ankylosaurus, the apex exorunner is ironically named and will frequently do battle with the Ankylosaurus for both food and territory. Also possessing 6 forward-facing eyes and a beak full of sharpened protrusions, the exorunner is still more than a match for any unprepared explorer. This creature also holds a gland that secretes a substance useful for attracting others of its own kind. Oddly enough, these secretions can also be used as an aromatic in crafting as well. The next creature we will discuss today is the herding stonewalker geophage. The last large creature on the surface of Archimedes II, the stonewalker geophage could easily be mistaken for just an ordinary stone if it is at rest and not moving. The stonewalker more than earns its name due to its rocky visage and its ability to scuttle about on 4 insect-like legs, with 2 forward-facing legs used to attack other creatures. The creature lacks any semblance of outward sensory organs, but, despite this, the creature is more than capable of detecting its surroundings and defending itself in its volcanic habitat. On its underside sits numerous fleshy extrusions. These are speculated to be sonic sensory organs, or the means by which the stonewalker consumes the clay and dirt beneath it while at rest. There must be something in the ground that the stonewalker consumes with sedating effects, as the hard carapace of the stonewalker has large amounts of sedatives in it, likely as a defensive mechanism should any of the many predators of the planet bite off a chunk of it during an attack. It may buy the stonewalker enough time to escape. The final form of fauna on Archimedes II is the tubule scavenger. The only true prey creature on the planet, the tubule scavenger, is unlike any creature yet seen on Galactic Geographic and baffles our scientists on exactly how it functions. The large, slug-like creature squelches along the volcanic hills and frozen plains of Archimedes II without a care. Their body appears to be made of a series of fleshy tubes that expand and contract, allowing the creature to move along the ground. The tubes that make up its body have numerous holes in them, perhaps allowing the creature to pull in air to expand the tubes and exhaling it to shrink them. It is likened to breathing, but instead of bringing oxygen into the body, it allows the creature to move. There are no notable sensory organs on the creature, but there is a peculiar single raised tube in the center of the back of the creature. What this is used for is unknown, however. The tissue of this creature contains metabolic agents and can be consumed to regulate one's own metabolism, after being properly prepared, of course. And thus concludes this episode of Galactic Geographic. Today we explored Archimedes II, from its flora and fauna to the conditions of the planet itself. I am glad to have been able to host this episode for you, and everyone on the Galactic Geographic team hopes to see you again. If you've learned anything today, please let us know in the comments below. If you'd like, feel free to subscribe via SSNN to catch up on all the latest episodes as we explore the settled systems together. So that is all today, explorers. I hope your adventures bring you joy and excitement, and stay safe out there in the space lanes. I've been your host, Liam Farrell, and until we meet again next, gentle viewer, we will see you again, sometime, somewhere, amongst the stars.